Jyoti from Exploring Nature. Today we are celebrating the International Tigers Day, and we will have the opening welcome note from Dr. Mithilesh Dutt Dwivedi. Dwivedi sir is a renowned zoologist and also an ornithologist by passion. So he has done great work on how the nesting behavior of avian life has changed with urbanization. In fact, we had a great session with sir a few days back in Exploring Nature. So you people can go and visit our YouTube link also, where Sir has explained in detail about his PhD thesis, which was on the changing nesting behavior. So welcome, Sir. Welcome again, and I pass on the mic to you for your address. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishani. I, Mithilesh, welcome you all on the eve of International Tiger Day, celebrated since 2010. When we think about the forest, the tiger, lions, elephants, bears, rhinos, all comes in our mind. And when we visit in reality, now the animals are not much more in numbers. And sometimes we go, we do not get any targeted animals, and then we return back with heavy heart. But what is the reason behind it? Why all these things are going to be happened since time or from the year uh, of 90s? But when we talk about particularly the tigers in general, they are the strong mammal, and as a whole, they comes under the family Felidae, and they are territorial animals, mighty, and they lies on the apex of our terrestrial ecosystem or food chain. But the history reveals that the first sign of tiger was reported in the year 1758 as a species by British people, but they are also, the Britishers are also the cause behind the decline of tigers from our area or the area where they roam freely in early days. When we talk about the species, there are 6 subspecies of tigers found in different zones, and they started from in the west Anatolia region and east the Amur river basin, as well as south of Himalayas up to the Bali in the Sunda Islands. And as a whole, when I came across with a report of 1864, I found that tigers were present from Parasat hills of Jharkhand in Dhanbad district up to the Hazaribagh and Palamu also. There is a tiger reserve, only one tiger reserve in the state, that is called Palamu Tiger Reserve or PTR. As a whole, since the early 20th uh, century, about 93% of tiger population were vanished or declined. And it was a great uh, factor that compelled 13 countries where they roam freely to take the decision of their conservation. As a result, the 13 countries where they roamed, the tigers roamed or were found in abundance in the year 2010. I started a meeting to conserve the tigers, to protect the tigers. As a whole, when we talk about the other or the IUCN role, it declared tigers as endangered animals or mammals. The number started, or every at the interval of 4 years, the government started the census in our country for the tigers in wild. And as a whole, when we find the present scenario, about 70% of the total number of tigers are found in India. And when we go through state-wise data, the Andhra have 48 tigers, Arunachal 70, 20 tigers, Assam 190, Bihar 31, Chhattisgarh 19, and Goa 3, Jharkhand 02. It is news of the day. Today I got this news, and Mukul also stated with talk with Gargi ma'am that two tigers are there. Friends, I am having one pug mark in my hand, which I personally molded in Betla Tiger Reserve or Palamu Tiger Reserve from a water hole in 2005. And it ensures me the tiger was there. But the present scenario is doubtful. And according to Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun, by escape analysis, two tigers possibly are there. But nothing was about the cattle killing, which occurs in the territory of tigers. So I, being a biology student, I am not so hopeful about the presence of tigers there. And I was giving you the number: Chhattisgarh 19, Goa 3, Jharkhand 2, Karnataka 524, and Kerala 190, MP 526. The highest number of tigers are in MP, and Maharashtra 312, Odisha 28, Rajasthan 91, Tamil Nadu 264, UP 173, Uttarakhand 442, and West Bengal, including Sundarban area, 88. So this is the present scenario state-wise of tigers population. But one thing is very good, that after all the impact of grassland deterioration, non-availability of food, fragmentation of the habitat of tigers, and all these factors are pressurizing the decline of the number of tigers. So as a whole, in 2014, the tigers were about, in 1973, sorry, tigers population was 1200, and it increased by declaration of the Protection Act in 1972, Wildlife Protection Act, and making of declaration of many tiger reserves in the country, which are presently nearly 53 in the country, and the Palamu was also declared that time as a tiger reserve, having the 10 numbers of or 14 numbers of tigers at that time. And sometimes some people also suggest there were 24 tigers in the Palamu Tiger Reserve at that time. But I don't gone through the report in particular. So there was a tragedy. In 2007, the number decreased to 1,400 in the country. due to poaching for nails, poaching for body parts, poaching for skin, and as a whole, the tigers have to suffer their life. And as a result, what we notice in now at present, the latest report suggests that in 2015 there are 3,200 tigers uh, that increased in 7 years, which means from 2015 to 2020. The number increased to 4,500 globally. So this is the global number, but WWF opines that there are 3,900 tigers in wild, not in captivity like zoo and other breeding centers. So, according to WWF, the recent number globally is 3,900, and after we have in India, our Prime Minister declared on the basis of 2018 census of tigers that India has 2,967 tigers in our wild. In 2010, the country decided to double the number of tigers up to 2022. And one thing is a good sign that among the 13 countries, our country, India, achieved the double number of tigers in our country as per decision by the 13 countries uh, taken during the summit. And as a whole, this is the present scenario of tiger population, tiger conservation. But one thing we have to keep in our mind, okay, during the British period, uh, the award was also given in 1898. Sanders, a survey report on Palamu suggests that for killing of tigers, 50 rupees award was given. And for other big cats family members, 15 rupees awards were there to bring the skin of the tiger or the others. So you can consider how they damaged our. But we also remember the Jim Carbode, who was also one of the notorious, in my opinion, शिकारी थे वो और बहुत शिकार किया उन्होंने. But there was a human and tiger conflict. That's why the government used him to control or kill the such tigers. However, he turned over to conservators or conservationists. So as a whole, my dear friends, this day, the 29th July, is the time to go through action for conservation of big cats. It is not the part of only the mythological conservation, but by protecting the grasslands, which are vanishing very rapidly today due to urbanization and other factors. So it caused the lack of or absence of their food, the deers. Tigers prefer deers, and that's why the deers feeds on grasses, and grasslands are very needed, which are disappearing day by day, every day in our life. So, my dear friends, it's a forum it to highlight the issue of tigers, the big cats, to keep them in wild. So it's my introductory opinion about the today Tiger Conservation Day, International Tiger Conservation Day, and now I am handing over to Ishani. Thank you for giving me chance to discuss or to put my views on this issue. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that insightful session. Excellent. And now I would like to invite
Ishani, I can't hear you.
Yeah, so I have, you can start it now.
Hina, you will start.
Yeah, please.
Yes. Very good evening and warm welcome to everyone. As everyone knows that today we are celebrating the International Tiger Day. It's pleasure that we are celebrating this with our talk show Jungle Chimes. So let us start. Before that, let's just go through a gist about our company, that is Exploring Nature, a wildlife consulting company. About Exploring Nature is a community of lightly minded people who loves to be nature amidst. Our mission is to make people cherish nature's beauty and protect its novelty. We felt that there is a dire need to create awareness about nature, so we introduced this knowledgeable platform called Jungle Chimes, a regular talk show being delivered by domain experts. Nature trials and photo walks, we felt there is a dire need to create awareness about the nature. Documenting the same is a challenging task, so we are introducing nature trials and photo walks for of all age groups. Also, this is nature and wildlife photograph workshop. Here we felt that there is a dire need to document the diversity of nature, and also to capture the from small element to large ones with more accuracy. So this is how it is. This is what is being taught here in workshop. We have nature and wildlife photography camps. There is a dire need to educate wildlife photographer more about nature. To be a better wildlife photographer, one should be able to read nature carefully and photograph accordingly. Nature and wildlife photography expeditions. We are introducing nature and wildlife photography expedition with a vision to develop sustainability based ecotourism, also to support the local tourism. Now, wildlife consulting is wildlife management for bird sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and tiger reserve on consultation basis. Assessing habitat, observe wildlife, and conduct wildlife surveys. Planning and development of sustainable and ecotourism, guide training program, promotional and conservational activities. So this was all about it. Now, as I told you that today is an international day and we are celebrating uh, our International Tiger Day. So I would like to, welcome Mr. Hemant Sawant, who was born and brought up in Mumbai, and Hemant Sawant is a hobbyist, Indian photographer who loves capturing the nature of beauty and the nature world, especially that of tigers. So I would like to please present you Mr. Hemant Sawant, and he'll be amazing. He'll be having amazing photographs, which we will also be stunned by seeing that. So looking forward to that, Mr. Hemant Sawant. I just pass on to you. Please, you can go forward. Thank you so much. A warm welcome to you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I am Hemant Sawant, born and brought up in Mumbai, a hobby wildlife photographer. I'm pursuing photography for the last 40 years since my childhood. Initially, I was doing wedding photography as well as videography. I started my wildlife photography since last 10 years. And some mammals here are there, some birds here and there. But actual tiger photography or a wildlife photography started in the year of 2016 when I first went to the tiger reserve, and that was Jim Corbett. Yes, it was Jim Corbett. First 2 days in Jim Corbett were totally blank. So I questioned my daughter, Saloni, are we going to witness a tiger? She said, yes, definitely. And for my surprise, on the third day, morning at 8 in the morning, when it was very misty and we were on the Sambar road, I think it was the 1st of April. So I was again not sure whether the tiger is going to make us a fool or not. But at 8 around
Sorry
8
for the
PM,
interruption. The slides are not moving.
slides I'll move, Mukul. Let me
Acha,
first
okay,
introduce, then
fine.
I'll move the
Oh,
slides.
great, great, great.
I'll move the slides. Wait. So actual tiger photography started in 2016 when I visited my first jungle. So all these things, suddenly a tigress jumped in front of us, and that was the day when my fascination started for the tigers. The first tiger which I saw was a beautiful female tigers from Sambar Road. I will tell you, the day we were so lucky that we could photograph her while walking. She climbed, she crossed the river, she was swimming in the river, and the first and the very important part, that when she walked exactly eyes into straight in our head on. So when the tiger came head on, at that time I realized, looking into a tiger's eye, every time when I look into the eye of a tiger, I feel connected. I feel connected to their soul, and that's why I come out with some good photographs. So it's very important to get connected with the tigers, and it's very important for us to concentrate more on the connection of your soul. Photography itself is an ability to break all the barriers. Photography itself, itself which breaks all the barriers. Ability that helps us in getting good photograph. After the first encounter with such a beautiful animal, I started moving on to other jungles, mainly to Bandhavgarh, then Kana, Tadoba, and many more. But my favorite was always and is always Jim Corbett. From the very first time I laid my eyes on this magnificent beast, I was captivated by its power, grace, and ferocity. Slowly, I started collecting my gears for the wildlife photography. I bought some of the gears from the market. I modified it for my convenience. I started developing some do's and don'ts of the wildlife photography. Don't leave any stress behind the jungle. These were the do's and the don'ts. Observe wildlife from a distance. Don't disturb them. Also, do not feed them, because feeding them spoils their health and their natural behavior. Wildlife photographing nowadays has emerged one of the most exciting career options for the young ones of late. Wildlife photography is concerned with documenting various natural habitats. Wildlife photography helps a lot to raise the profile of our planet and the environment, which we make possible by presenting the best wildlife shots from your lenses. So we must understand and respect the nature. That's the very much important part in wildlife photography. There are very simple ways and means to respect the nature. We must always respect it by listening the calls. Yes, by listening the calls of the jungles as well as the animals around the jungles. The deer calls, the peacock calls, which definitely contributes to a beautiful wildlife photograph. Basically, the monkey call is supposed to be the best call in the jungle, which is very sure that there is a tiger around you. So listening as well as smelling, even smelling helps sometime. So it's very important to take the call of the nature, respect the nature, which will support you for a best photograph. And also, over and above, the study and the observation. And best part is your anticipation. I think when you study a lot of the typical behaviors, then the most important part moves to anticipation. In further, I will give you some examples for how to anticipate a good wildlife photograph. Like when you see a tiger is walking straight into your eyes and just going tree to tree, you must anticipate, yes, that's the time when there will be a territory marking. A territory marking is one of the phenomena which is seen in the tigers. There are two types of territory markings. One is for the area territory marking, and second, and the best part of the nature, is the territory marking by a tigress. A tigress marks a territory so that the male around the area finds the tigress to that there is a female tigress which is ready for mating. So this is a nature call. So when the animals, they accept the nature calls, then why not us? We should also try and understand the nature calls. When a female tigress walks with a tail on, then we should know, yes, this is the right time. This is the right time when she will do the territory marking. So then you have to be very particular and anticipate that you are going to get a shot of territory marking. So nature tells us many more things. As according to the nature, we must also know one thing, that we must have all particulars about all our equipments. We must be very sure about all our equipments, because knowing your equipments are also the best parts which helps us in good wildlife photography. Tiger have some specific callings, habits, like calling their cubs. They have a specific way of calling a mate. So calling plays very important role in wildlife photography. So as I told you, smell as well as your anticipation makes a good photograph. Wildlife photography based totally on the equipments. Okay, sometimes we think that we should have a good equipment, but when you understand your own equipments and when you know the best out of your equipments, you can come out with a very good photograph. So understanding your equipment is very important, and knowing their limits, which is very, very important. Now, as I told you, all we know about the tigers, all we know about the equipments. It's very important to know about their habitats also, because as Dr. Mithilesh told us, the different habitats and the different areas where the tigers are found. To get a good photograph, you must have a equipment which should reach the tiger. So for that, here the importance of the equipment is very important. Using a long lens or a telephoto lens, making a choice of a wide lens for a habitat shot, these are the few most important things in wildlife photography. You must have a shot in your mind. You must get connected to the tiger, and then you must know the equipment, and then you must anticipate what shot should be there. So this is all important, where when to use a telephoto lens, when to use a short zoom, or when to use a macro. Because in jungle, you can come across to many more things. Lot of choices are available right now. With new technologies, there are new cameras. There was a transition from SLRs to DSLRs. From DSLRs, we shifted to mirrorless. There are many specific modes of focusing, like whether to use a spot metering or whether to use a evaluative metering. So these are all very important things which you must have in mind for a beautiful photograph to be captured. As I told you, day by day there is an increase in the preciseness of the equipment, like image stabilizer systems which are there in the lenses as well in the cameras now. Now newly introduced technology, that is animal eye detection, which is also very much important. So when you understand your equipment, definitely you are going to get a good picture. There are many new innovations in the cameras. As I told you, the animal eye detection. Then you can raise the ISOs. You can bump up with the ISOs, not in the olden times, but now with the new equipments and the new technology, we can do it. So when you face challenges in the nature, when you face new challenges in the nature, which are introduced in the wildlife photography, so you must be fully aware about all this. Understand the equipment, know your limit of your equipments. Definitely you can come out with the best. Now thoroughly, once you know all your equipments, you understand the most important is the behavior of the tigers. When you are around in some of the jungles, you should always take the help of some expert divers and the guides around them, because they are the local peoples who have the whole idea what type of tiger and how many tigers are there in the vicinity, whether there are cubs within that area. Because the most important and most wonderful time is to shoot the cubs. So understanding your subject, that is a major thing. When you understand that the cubs are there, they are somewhere around the water, then you must anticipate. Yes, now I need some shots which will be playing with the shutter speed. Yes, a shutter speed where I freeze the movement. So when you understand your subject, when you understand your equipment, I think you are in the right position to take a good photograph. In India, as explained by Dr. Mithilesh, we have only one subspecies of Royal Bengal tigers. In various parts of India, there are different types of habitats, like right from forest to mangroves. The best part, whenever you enter into a jungle, first gather all the informations, then gather all the know-how about the tigers around you, then study their behavior, whether they are near the water hole, what are the shots to be expected, what will be your composition, what will be your subject. So these are very important aspects in wildlife photography, understanding your subject. Once you know which tigers, which areas, and what are the subjects around you, then you can frame everything in your mind. Then you get connected to the tiger. When you get connected to the tiger, then there are many another challenges which are faced by us. Challenges like in the terms of low light. When you are in the early morning, in the misty morning, or when you are in the summers where the temperature can go up to 45 degrees. It's very difficult to survive in such conditions. But you must get all the ideas, you must get all the protections, you must get all the things, because here, if you have a monsoon shower, then you must protect your equipments also. So looking into all the aspects, the challenges faced, you must prepare yourself with a proper adequate equipments, with the proper adequate safety measures. Then after, the most important thing, the challenge is what you are going to face. Like, you must know the spots, you must know the exact intensity of the speed, you must know the exact requirement of the speed or an ISO to get some good shots. So understanding the nature and your equipment and of course the subject, you will get a good shot. After the challenging and the challenge is faced by you, the most important aspect in wildlife photography, you must have a picture which portrays a story, a picture which is going to be a storytelling picture. Storytelling pictures about the tigers have lots of varieties. Few I can explain you. The Feldman behavior of the tiger. The Feldman behavior of the tiger is very important, which is used for smelling, as tiger smells from their tongue. The another most beautiful behavior is the parental care, which the tigers take about their cubs. Adjustments to the habitat. Like you see, tigers are some good swimmers. They swim across very swiftly. If you can observe the tigers in Sundarbans. Then again, the best part of the tiger behavior is their catwalk. Yes, the catwalk is also very important. Their way of walking is so graceful that one can compare it to a model walking on the ramp, where they put their best foot forward and deliver the beautiful portrait. So these are the beautiful behaviors of the tigers which are challenging for the photography, wildlife photography. So understanding the subject, understanding the tiger is very important in wildlife photography. Then comes the best part, as I explained you, the mother's love. This was my best favorite shot when I was in Bandhavgarh. This was a very beautiful moment which I captured in my life. We missed the crossing of these cubs. There were 4 of them in Bandhavgarh. We came back, then there was a facility in Bandhavgarh of hopping onto an elephant. We hopped on the elephant, we went to the spot, and then we got some beautiful pictures of the parental care and the mother playing with the kids and the cubs playing amongst them. So these are some of the beautiful behaviors. Then the second story which I came across in my life was a very interesting story. As you see the picture, it immediately reflects to your mind. Yes, this is mating. But as I tell you, this is mating. Yes. But for me, it was not. We were 3 of our groups on that occasion. The 2 groups were ahead of us. They were shooting from the head-on of both the tigers walking in front. And unfortunately, we were on the backside. So we didn't have choice of shooting them from the backside. I was shooting from the back. I was concentrating that how to get a best photograph. Suddenly, I realized that there is some margin. So I asked my guide, are they going to take a right turn? Usually, what is their behavior? Because here the behavior counts. Here the study and here the anticipation was very important. So I asked my guide, are they going to take a right turn? So he said, yes, they will, because that is their natural everyday path. So then I removed my jeep. We crossed over another 2-3 jeeps and we took a right turn going almost 3,000 meters. We don't have choice because we were shooting from the back. Then we took a right turn and we waited at a safe distance. I said, now it's our luck. And suddenly the 2 tigers took a right turn and we were at a very safe distance. Within no time, some of the jeeps followed us, taking the right turn, and we were in a right position to shoot this. After shooting this, we were very happy. We were very happy to get such a lovely behavior of the tiger and the expressions on the tigers. Just check the expressions on their faces. So after coming to the hotel, we all 12 of us were very happy. But I don't know, something was bothering me. Yes, something was bothering me because I was not happy. Everybody was declaring, hey, we got the mating. That was a mating shot, once in a lifer and all that. Suddenly I told my friend, Karthik, I'm not happy. I said, what happened? Well, do you feel that's a mating? It was an argument. Yes, the tigress is there, which has a small face, this, that. But then I opened my frame, I opened my camera, and I showed him. I said, Karthik, this is not the right thing what I'm seeing you. He said, what's that? I think see thoroughly, if you see the picture, these are not the male and female. Both of them are males. And then I called Saloni. I said, what is this? She said, yes, this is behavior which is observed in some of the mammals, even in dolphins, even in dogs. That is called as a mounting habit of the tigers. So as I explained you, for a good wildlife photograph, you must know the facts. You must know the things. Yes, I was very happy, but other people were not happy because they missed the mating. I said, this is the thing what I have got, which is a lifer. To get a sub-adult in this position, it's very, very difficult, and it's very, very, what we call, rare. So I was very happy. So these are all the things, as I told you, the anticipation which was anticipated by me to take a right turn, coming into the same position, and then getting the good photograph. So all about wildlife photography is your passion. All about your wildlife photography is your anticipation, and after all, the knowing of your equipments. I have a limited equipment. I know I have a very limited equipment, but I try to get best out of it, as this is my hobby. So there are many more things where you have to be very particular about all this. Now, when we come to the aspect of a good wildlife photograph, all these counts. Once you know your equipment, once you know your anticipation, yes, definitely you will be in a position to acquire good shot. Yes, this was another behavior of a tiger. As I told you, you must know the tiger. You must know the subject. The subject is very important. It was early in the morning in Ranthambore. We saw the tiger was just relaxing, and suddenly it came to my mind that there is something which is happening there. So I anticipated there is something. So I zoomed my camera. I went up to the shot. Then I realized, yes, this is this is one of the behavior where tigers take nutrition from the other animals' poo. They get minerals from there. So this is also one of the behavior which is seen in the tigers. So once again, to get a good wildlife photograph, once again, to get a good storytelling picture, you must know all these things which combines to get a good photograph. With this, there are many behaviors we can discuss. But as you know, there is a time limit. We can discuss only up to some extent. I'm extremely happy for exploring nature to give me a good time to come with you and share my moments. Maybe I was not that much what we call precise, because this is my first talk. This is my first talk in my life coming in front of the audience. Otherwise, we always
A big hand for you, sir. Big hand for you. Claps.
Yes.
I said a big hand for you. Claps.
Oh, thank you very much. So once again, I thanks Exploring Nature and the team. I specifically thanks Mukul and Ishani to take such pains to come out with such a good thing with us. Definitely, if anybody has any questions, I can give some answers or you can come in touch with me. There are my numbers. If anybody feel personally, they can call me or they can get back to me on my mail. Thank you, Ishani. Thank you, Mukul, once again. And once
Thank
again,
you,
I
sir.
thanks
Yes,
everybody.
so audience, whosoever wants to ask
Yes,
questions, just unmute
Question and
yourself
ask.
and ask it.
yes, feel free to ask me if anybody wants to know anything. Whatever is my knowledge, I would like to definitely share with you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Pranaya.
so much, sir. Thank you for the wonderful, uh, just not a photo show, but it is like we learned a lot from you.
Actually,
Thanks, Mukul.
thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Also,
Yes,
Mukul
Mukund
has
sir,
raised
please
his hand.
ask. Yeah, please, Mukund sir, go ahead. And
Hello, yeah,
others,
good
please,
evening.
before leaving, we want everyone on camera so that we can click some pictures. So people have started
Hello, yeah,
leaving.
good evening, everyone.
Yes, Mukund sir.
Hello, yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is
Hi,
Mukund.
Shumaya.
I have joined from Dubai, and it's a wonderful session that I have attended. I got the notification from Miss Gargi a couple of minutes ago, so I immediately switched on and joined. And what a great treat it is to hear from one of the great photographers of tiger on the World Tiger Day. And I learned a lot because I have seen the tigers, but the behavior and other things that you mentioned, it's really an eye opener. Thank you so much, and look forward to more such presentations from your kind self. Thank you, sir.
And let me just announce that with Mukul sir also, we will be having one session. He is also an very enthusiastic ornithologist. So we will be having a session with him in August, 21st of August. So be there, others. Yeah, request to all.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you can, switch on your cameras. Yes, thank you, Mithilesh sir, Gargi ji. Yeah, let me take one more
I just want
screenshot.
to ask something to
Yes, I
Hemant
would
sir.
request you to
Thank
please
you, sir.
on your camera so that we can click a photo. And thank you everyone for coming on this show.
And
Yeah,
it's not ended yet. We will show the photographs also. We during the month of June and July, we received photographs every day, almost 4 to 5, sometimes even more photos of tigers in our Facebook group. And we have selected some of the photos from there for prize distribution for awards. So that we will be sharing now. Sir,
yeah,
Mukund sir, anything else you want to ask?
yeah. I just want to ask one question to Hemant sir.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sir,
please go
actually,
ahead, ma'am.
I was thinking all the tigers we have in India are Bengal tigers. Pardon my folly. Can you please just tell me what type of tiger we have in mainland Asia, and how it is different from the Bengal tigers?
See, there are 7 subspecies of tigers, but most of the tiger species, as Dr. Mithilesh explained, have gone to the extinction. The Malayan tigers and some of the Sumatra tigers, but the
South
best
Chinese.
tigers are only India only. Yes, doctor.
South Chinese tigers also are under the way of
Yes,
extinction. And
yes,
in Iran, in Afghanistan,
yes.
Pakistan, uh, so many countries where tigers
Even
are
Bangladesh,
nowadays absent, they
even,
extinct.
even Bangladesh has a very good population of tigers
Yes,
nowadays.
Bangladesh is having because
Yeah,
Sundarban is there.
yes. They are back to back.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The
Yeah.
presentation was
Any
amazing.
other question? Anyone else?
Gargi ma'am.
Yes, sir.
One thing about the subspecies of tigers,
Yeah.
Yes.
about 32 tigers DNA a
Mm-hmm.
study has been completed now. And
Okay.
on the basis of DNA sequencing,
Mm-hmm.
6 races has been identified. Well,
Yes.
Okay.
this is the latest, and it is also concluded on that basis of a study that about 1,10,000 million years ago, they had common ancestor.
Okay.
इतना साल पहले कॉमन एंसिस्टर थे जो कालांतर में अलग अलग रीजन में जा करके अपने को एडॉप्ट
Yes.
करते गए एज ए पार्ट ऑफ इवोल्यूशनरी हैपनिंग्स.
Yes.
Okay, that
I will
means
highlight-
the original has been the continental tigers, and we have
Yes.
Okay.
one subspecies that is Bengal tiger over here.
Bengal.
रॉयल बंगाल टाइगर.
Yes.
रॉयल बंगाल टाइगर.
Even if you see the adaptation in India,
Hmm.
there is vast difference in adaptation also.
Yeah.
If you see the fur coat of the northern tigers,
Certainly.
so beautiful. The fur coat of orange and the black strips are very prominent. But if you see the tigers towards central, little bit
Madhya
color
Pradesh.
difference is there.
Faded color. Huh.
Shaded colors, because they have adapted. As it is too hot in our Central Asia, Central India. That's the reason they have adapted according to the nature also.
Yeah.
But the beautiful tigers, if you want to see, definitely it is always on the north, because their
Because-
fur coat, their
black-
physics. Yes, doctor.
Because black stripes absorb much heat. So
Yes.
in the central part, they
Yes.
adapted themselves to
Yes.
keep their body not much heated. So they have faint color, stripes on body in
And
comparison to eastern one.
recently yes sir. And recently some Siberian tigers also spotted in Arunachal Pradesh, right? Is that is right or not?
It was said, it was in news also, but much more confirmation is needed. From a such distance, we cannot have a blind view of that. It
Right.
may be possible, adjoining area से आ गए हों, but
Yeah.
I am not so sure. I have to go through the literature available in the area.
Okay.
Thank you.
As we know, the tigers travels miles and miles a day.
Miles.
Right.
Certainly.
Miles and miles a day. They are very good travelers,
Yeah.
because
Oh, wow.
as the study which has been going on after putting the collars and all that, they have been tracked. So their tracking has already shown some drastic movements of the tigers.
Okay.
So recently only I was there in Konkan. A tiger was spotted in Tillari, because they travel from Karnataka and almost 500 kilometers. So this is the best part of the tiger, that they travel. So due to the travel, we might come across some good species also.
Right, sir.
Yes.
This along with many such new information, this is again a new information. Didn't know they are such travel lovers.
Yes, definitely. They are the best swimmers. Rather, I missed out on the one part.
Yeah, yeah.
Tigers are the
Swimmers,
swimmers.
right?
Right, right.
They
Right, sir.
swim swiftly. If you see the tigers of Sundarbans,
Hmm.
they can
Yes.
swim long distance. So they are very powerful swimmers also.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you
in
so much, sir.
basically they have been also spotted drinking salt water. So if you look at their color, that the reddish, they are more reddish because of the iodine content.
Yes. See, they need some minerals, iodine. They need what we call minerals like what the monkeys do. Monkeys also what we call leak the salt in the mud. So these are all minerals which they get acquired from the salt as well as iodine also. So there are many more behaviors. I must have skipped out 2 or 3, but looking at the time, there was a time constraint. I had some another pictures also. You can visit my website. I can give you some more examples, but if you can get in touch with me, my website is there. My email ID is there, or you can
Sir,
call
you,
me.
in the chat box also you can paste maybe the URL of your website.
No problem.
Yeah, that would be better, sir. That is better.
Yeah, I'll do it.
And
Thank you
sir,
so
now I
much, sir, for
request to
joining the webinar.
stop sharing.
Yes.
Yeah, so sir, I would like to request you to stop sharing now. Yes, so that I can go ahead with the
Yes.
winning
Yes.
photos. Before that, I would like to ask the viewers, the audience, if you have any other queries. Otherwise, we will move towards showing the winning photographs.
Yes.
The photos is another.
Yeah. So this is the. Okay, let me start sharing. So this photo has won the award for being the best behavior photo from Krishna Roy, Srimati Krishna Roy.
Great.
Okay, so moving on to the next part. And this photo from Mr. Rajat Shubhra Pramanik is the winner for Best Portrait. Again, let me move on to the next one. So we have Mr. Pramanik again for the best habitat. So this is the winning photo for best habitat. I think the photos are self-explanatory why this has won in this category. Yeah, so moving on to the next one. So now we have the, let me just search the, yeah. So we have the second runner-up, Mr. Debashish Shaha. And sir, would you like to explain why this has won in the second runners-up position? Or we'll just announce this?
Basically, when you see at the photograph, the positioning and the composition is very good. Number one, it was a very what we call tough to judge the three best photographs. They were all neck to neck.
Great, great. I wish that the winner would have been here, but I don't know. They are not here. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Next move, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the winning photo as the first runner-up.
Not the winning photo. This is the first runner-up.
This is the first runner-up, yes.
This is the first runner-up.
Yes, yes. This is, sorry, I just announced it in a wrong way. So this is this photograph from Mr. Himakar Valluri has won the first runner-up position. Himakar sir is also a very renowned photographer and an award-winning photographer. So we had one session, one Jungle Shine session with him as well. Again, whosoever is interested can visit our YouTube's video links. It's there. And now we are up for the winning photo.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, so this photograph from Mr. Kishore Mukhopadhyay is the winner. So we had a long competition for 2 months, June and July. People used to place their photos in our FP group, and finally out of all those, I think 31 to 35 photos were selected. Out of each and every day, whatsoever photographs we are having, out of that first screen we screened 31 photos, and then out of these 31 photos, these are the winning photos. So congratulations to everyone. I don't know who is present, who is not. Congratulations. And we are planning to come up with a newsletter, e-newsletter, and we will feature these photos in that newsletter.
Yeah, and the certificates and the medals will be given to all the 5 people.
Congratulations to all the winners for the
Thank you,
beautiful
sir.
photographs and sharing their ideas and their beautiful photographs. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you. Everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining our show.
Yes, now I
Hope
would
that
request.
yes, Hina, please.
No, we can.
आते
Please
हैं
just
थोड़ा
on
सा
your.
खत्म हो रहा है.
Yeah, so thank you,
Yes, yes.
Mithilesh sir. Thank you,
Oh,
Himakar
thank you
sir.
everybody.
Thanks, sir, and thank you each and every audience. This was a great show. Thanks, and I hope that in our future shows also you will be there. We will come up with the interesting shows in our future endeavors. So next is with Mr. Mukund Das. We will be hosting one Jungle Shines on 21st of August.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you. Good
everyone,
night.
and good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Hemant sir, Mukul, Ishani, and Hina. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Mukul. Thank you, Gargi. Thank you, Ishani.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Doctor. Thanks a lot,
Thank you, sir.
Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Ishani. Ishani, you there?